or even like that cozy blanket that you have on your couch that you could utilize at this moment, or if you're in your bedroom. So grab something like that if you'd like. That you're going to place where we're going to rest our backs on. I like to open mine up slightly, and then I like to use the end of it as kind of a support for my cervical spine or the back of my neck. Two other items that you can use that you most likely have at home are towels. You can roll them up. They can be beach towels, bath towels, whatever towels you like, or grab two other blankets, and then you can utilize those as well. Those blankets are actually going to create somewhat of a triangle on the bottom portion of our mat. If you happen to have a bolster, absolutely grab that bolster if you prefer, and that can be where you rest your back instead of the blankets. But when you guys are ready, you're going to go ahead and start your playlist if you'd like. That's the Melanie Zapata Humphrey on Spotify, and the name of the playlist is called Fabiola, Fabiola. And you'll just start with that first song hitting play. If you prefer not to use the music, completely fine. Work your way onto your bottom. So when you're ready, come down to your bottom. Support the body by bending the knees, soles of the feet down on the mat, working those towels or your blankets closer to your hips, and then fingertips behind you. Begin to roll your spine down. Your arms extend out to the sides. If this is too high for you, unroll your blanket. If this is not high enough for you, then maybe you throw something underneath to lift you and support you more. Once you're comfortable here, bring the soles of your feet together and use the towels as that support to anchor or create that support the hips, the thighs, the knees. When you're ready, those arms rest to our sides. Go ahead and take that full belly breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, sigh that breath out, letting it go. Couple more just like that. Big inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, sigh that breath out, releasing. One more big cleansing breath in through your nose. Pause at the top. And then exhale, sigh it out. Taking your tongue, you can lick the lips and seal them to one another. Begin breathing in and out of your nose now. If your energy is low today, just continue that breath work in and out of the nose. But if you feel energetic or your body feels good, maybe take the tongue, press it to the tip, press the tip to the roof, and then create this dragging breath as you constrict the back of the throat, breathing in and out of the nose, known as our oceanic breath, or some know it as victorious or Ujjayi pranayama. Begin to feel the shoulders relax away from the ears. If you're supported by your blanket, your bolster on your back, notice how the shoulders can drop down. And you start retracting the shoulder blades, meaning that we're spreading the collarbone nice and wide. Take a moment to take a soft, slow scan from the crown of your head down through the trunk, from the hips down to those toes. You're an observer. You're not a judger in this moment. Take that scan the opposite direction. Give yourself permission to be soft, to be kind, compassionate for the beautiful being, for the beautiful shell that you're in. Let go of any to-do list. Truly allow yourself to arrive in this space, in this time. And then set that intention for your practice today. Maybe it's more of an idea or a concept. It can also be your personal affirmation, that mantra. I invite you to use what I'd like to work with today. What I've worked for you is connectivity, connection of mind, body, spirit, thoughts, allowing us to nourish ourselves. Drawing that breath in fully, letting that breath go completely. Invite this comfort, invite this nourishment. Release doubts, release fears, release expectations. As you hone in this energy, retaining it either for yourself or freeing it and sending it out into this space, into the ether, into the world, for others to absorb. Draw the breath in fully. And as you exhale, open mouth sigh and let it go. Sinking the navel towards the spine, letting all that air go, all of that life force released and sent out. As you take your next breath in, extending your arms either towards the back of the room if it's comfortable. And then as you exhale, you're going to slide those palms down to your sides, bringing one hand to your heart and the opposite hand to your belly. Notice the texture of the air, the breath that enters fluidly through your nose. Notice how that belly grows as you breathe in and the chest lifts and rises. Now, when you exhale, you can decompress it all. When you're ready to release, let those palms relax to your sides as the palms relax to the sides. Taking the palms, bringing those thighs together. As we bring our thighs together, you may want to just slide those towels or your blankets out to one side, allowing the palms to anchor us. Take your feet as wide as your mat or even further, a little narrow, and knees will kiss, and then we'll windshield wiper those legs right side to left side. If your body is resting on that blanket or even that bolster, just be mindful of how the spine is shaped. But when you're ready, relax and feel those knees kissing towards one another. Heel toe your feet back towards one another. And then we'll roll over to your favorite side. Usually it's my right side, but if you prefer the left, then you roll over towards your left. As you roll over towards that left, release what is behind it, supporting our frame out of our way, and then work your way back onto your back when it feels appropriate. Take a full breath in, take those arms over your head and extend that right leg towards the top of the mat. On your exhale, gently bring that left knee in towards your belly. Wrap your fingertips either around your shin bone or behind the hamstring if that's your preference. As you bring that knee in towards the body, point and flex the toes or create little circles with your ankles in each direction. Take another breath in, pause here. Letting that breath go, melting the shoulders and the back onto the ground. Go ahead and lift and float that right leg off the mat. Flexing those toes. As you flex those toes, imagine somebody has a little rope at the base of your heel and they're gently guiding that heel away from your body, but you're steadily anchored into this space. You'll take one more inhale here. And as you exhale, lower that heel down, release the bind of holding that left leg and extend that left leg up. Your hands wrap anywhere it's comfortable and you twirl the ankle in each direction. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, the knee comes back towards the chest. Inhale, extend the arms as well as that left leg behind you, the left leg towards the front of you. And then as you exhale, pull that right knee in, hands wrap around your preferential spot. Pointing the toes, flexing the toes, a couple of ankle twirls in either direction. And then pause. As you pause, draw that breath in. Hug that right knee in towards your chest. Inhale, begin to lift and float the left heel off the mat. Flexing those toes, activating the quad, not hyperextending the knee. Breathing in through the nose. Releasing the breath out of the nose. One more breath in. And as we exhale, lower that left heel down, release the bind around the ankle, around the leg, and extend that right leg up towards the sky. Twirl your ankle once more, flex and point those toes, draw that breath in. And as you exhale, guide this right knee back in towards your body. Inhale, we'll take that long morning stretch. And then exhale, we'll release the hands down to our sides. As the hands come down to our sides, bending those knees and either rolling over towards that right side, rolling yourself up, or taking those knees in towards your body and rocking, massaging the spine from front to back. Make sure you're only looking at your toes, your kneecaps, or forward so that you do not cause injury to your cervical spine or the neck. Once you're ready to sit tall, sit tall. If you were already tall, go ahead and work your way into that tabletop position, or what is known as all fours. As you come onto all fours, we'll begin to wiggle our hips right side to left side. As we wiggle the hips right side to left side, notice what's going on with the lower portion of the body. Travel up through your shoulders. Finally, coming to the crown, you'll find steadiness. As you find steadiness, tuck the toes under. As we tuck our toes under, breathe in through your nose. And as you exhale, you're gently sending the hips towards the heels, not into child's pose, but to stretch the bottom of our feet. As we stretch the bottom of our feet, our palms can walk closer if we need more. Our palms can stay forward if we need less. If you need a little more for the bottom of your feet, take a breath in to prepare. And as you exhale, roll your little pinky toes out to the edges of the mat. On your inhale, roll your big toes towards the middle. Lift the belly up slightly. Exhale, we roll the pinky toes out, or you can stay still if that's your preference. Inhale back to center. Exhale, those little toes roll out. Last time, inhale back to center. So we return to center, let that breath go. Inhale, roll the vertebrae forward, lift and float your feet, your toes off the mat, a couple of ankle twirls, maybe pop the toes, or if you'd like, bring that sensation back by patting your feet on the mat. Then pausing here for a moment. Lift your left wrist off the mat. As you lift that left wrist off the mat, just getting a little mobility for that wrist, a little synovial fluid going. Pausing here. Take the back of your hand, so point your fingertips down, back of your hand like you're scooping. Rest on the mat. Send the weight of the body back as you exhale that breath. The further you go, the more intense it is. So if you've gone too far, just slide forward. A soft bend of the elbow so we don't hyperextend the elbow. If you'd like, a few circles in one direction clockwise, or if you prefer, take it counterclockwise, or take a combo of both. Pause in the middle. As you pause in the middle, make a small fist as you bring your fingers towards your thumb. Expand and open it up. Bring those fingers back in. If you've been texting a lot or searching the web, you might notice it, especially if you are dominant on this hand. Go ahead and release. Inhale, send the weight of the body forward. Release, let go of this wrist. You can wiggle it or shake it, or if you just prefer soft circles, soft circles. Return that palm down, switch it out to the opposite. Lifting up, a few circles in each direction. And then taking the back of the hand down, exhale, send the hips back. As you send the hips back, clockwise circles, and then counterclockwise circles. Come back to stillness. As you work your way back to stillness, bringing the thumbs and the fingers together, creating that small ball. Last time, opening up. Inhale, slide forward, release your wrist, letting it go. Bringing those palms back down to the mat. Tuck your toes under. As we tuck our toes under, stack on all fours. So shoulders in line with the wrists, hips and knees in line with one another. On that inhale, drop the belly down, retract the shoulders, meaning your chest is dropping down where you feel the shoulder blades come together. On that inhale, bend the elbows slightly, lift the heart up, take that gaze up towards the ceiling or maybe just towards the front of the room. On your exhale, tops of your feet onto the mat, dome your spine, cat it up, your chin goes towards your chest. If you have low back sensation, maybe slide the weight a couple of inches towards that back. On that inhale, you begin to curl those toes, retract the shoulders, tilt and lift the chin and chest up. Exhale, we press the feet into the mat, grip into the finger pads, catting it up. One more, inhale, toes tuck, belly drops down, chest lifts up. Exhale, we press our feet onto the mat, we dome our spine, we look for our belly button. And then inhale, neutralize. As we neutralize, wiggle those hips right side to left side. Walking your left hand just a little bit closer towards the center of the mat. Find that stability. And on that inhale, extend and lift that right arm up towards the sky. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. And then as you exhale, thread that needle through. As you drop that right ear down, extend the right fingertips as far away as you can. Finding your left fingertips, tinning them up, keeping those hips elevated. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Maybe a soft smile so that you relax the features of the face. You're welcome to stay right here if you prefer, or walk that left hand towards the top of your mat, or if you prefer, inhale, that left arm goes up. And as that left arm goes up, you can bend the elbow, bringing the hand somewhere to the small of the back, or even around towards this right hip. Breathing completely, feeling the collarbone expand and open. And if you need that soft, gentle reminder to relax the shoulders away from the ears, you're welcome to take your left fingertips, guide it down. Take another full breath in here. Let that breath go. If your arm is towards the top of the mat or behind your back, on that next inhale, extend the arm up. Bring the palm down, press into that left palm, lift your right ear. Inhale, take your time as you extend and reach that right arm up. A few circles with this right shoulder in each direction. And then return that right palm down to the mat. As you return that right palm down to the mat, walk that right hand a little closer to center. Imagine pulling that heartstring from the mat up towards the sky. Left arm reaches up as we inhale. And as we exhale, thread it through, dropping that left ear down to the ground. Use your right fingertips as that base, keeping the hips elevated. Either the arm extends towards the top of the mat, reaching through the crown of the head, keeping those hips nice and neutral, or you extend and reach that right arm up, bending the elbow, bringing the hand somewhere to the small of the back, around to the left hip, or fingertips guiding this right shoulder open, and then finding your position. Feel that length as you breathe in. Your back muscles are opening up, so the shoulders are protracted, meaning they haven't caved in like we have that cat-cow round. Another breath here, letting that breath go. On your next inhale, release, extend that right arm up. Exhale, that right palm comes down. Press into that right palm, lift your left ear off the earth, and inhale, extend and float that left arm up. A few circles with the shoulder, releasing that shoulder in the opposite direction. And then work your way back into that tabletop position. As we come into tabletop position, curling the toes under, lifting those knees up, exhale. We work our way into an inverted V, also known as downward facing dog. Take a brief moment here to check in on your body, check the breath, check the mood. Remind yourself of renewal, nourishment, and connection. You are a vessel of this earth, so solidify or ground your feet into the mat. March and paddle the feet out. Maybe the heels touch, maybe they don't. Just notice the length of the hamstrings. Travel towards your hands now. Are you pressing the weight into the heels of the hands? And if the answer is yes, then I encourage you to create a small little suction cup with your hands instead and grip into your finger pads. Pause when you're ready in stillness. Lift or tilt your hips up. Let your head get heavy like it's this beautiful diamond or your favorite stone, and say a yes with it. Take a full belly breath in here. Activate the quads as you let that breath go. On your next breath in, lift your heels, bend your knees. Instead of walking towards the top of the mat, today I want you to walk your hands towards your feet. Release the heels down if they were up. You're in an exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold it forward. Separate your feet as wide as you need to, or as wide as it feels comfy. Press through the blades of your toes, the little pinky toes, and then knuckle down or release the big toe down. Grab those elbows for ragdoll, and if you can see a foot in front of you, I want you to take that gaze by letting your head hang heavy, looking in between your legs. Now, if you want to rock side to side, rocking side to side, or if you prefer rocking from the north to the south, you can begin to straighten those legs in any direction you see fit. And then we'll release and return to center. As we release and return to center, the fingertips come down, the knees stay bent. Take your stance maybe just an inch wider if you need more space. Leave your left fingertips down on the mat. Imagine creating a triangle with your feet and the left fingertips. Now inhale, grab that string from that right hand, pull that right arm up, extend it up towards the sky. The knees can begin to lengthen or stay bent. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. Now, if you'd like to bind, begin to bend this right elbow, bringing the back of the hand to the small of the back. Once more, knees can bend or straighten those legs. Look up towards the sky if you can, or directly towards your right side. Relax the left shoulder away from your ear. You're here for one more inhale. And then on that exhale, you're gonna look back down towards the ground or the left hand. Bend your knees generously. Imagine you have a weight in that left hand, and on that inhale, the arm stays bind and we lift it all the way up. Straighten those legs up, extend and reach the fingertips back, roll the shoulders down, and then exhale, bend those knees, fold it back down. You've got two more, so find that mobility. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float it down. Once more, inhale, we lift up. And then exhale, we're folding it down. As the fingertips release to the ground, inhale, looking up towards that right side, extending that right arm up, and then exhale, that right hand releases. Fingertips stay down. If you need to shimmy the hips back and forth, relax and release the shoulders, please do so. Let the fingertips on this right hand anchor down. Inhale from that left arm, pull it up towards that left shoulder, extend the arm up towards the sky. If this is too much, the hand always can rest at the hip. Take a full breath in here. Shoulders relax away from the ears. If you'd like, take that left arm, bend the elbow, bring the hand to the small of the back. If you have your hand on the hip, that's perfectly fine as well. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, take that gaze to the right hand. Bound arm or not, bend those knees, and then inhale, lift that right arm up, extend those legs nice and long. Exhale, fold it down. You've got two more. Inhale, you lift it up. Exhale, you bow it down. Press to the pinky edges of your toes. Keep those thighs engaged by pressing out. Last time up and last time down. On that next breath in, take that gaze up towards that left side or the sky. Extend that left arm up. Exhale, left hand goes down. Inhale, we rise up halfway. Heel toe your feet back towards one another. As you bring the feet back towards one another, inhale, we'll reverse and rise all the way up. Circle sweep those arms up towards the sky. On your exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down, expand your chest. Inhale, those arms reach up. You're at the back of your mat still. And then exhale, you forward fold. Release the fingertips down. We're gonna bear walk our way into downward facing dog. As we bear walk our way into that downward facing dog, we'll draw a breath in. We'll let that breath go. On our next inhale, lift the right toes off the mat and then exhale. Pull that right knee into your chest. Step that right foot in between your thumbs. Take a breath in here, dropping that left knee down. Inhale, you'll rise up. Top of that left foot is on the mat as the arms fan up. Big breath in here, shoulders relax. Exhale, heads of the elbows come down. You're stretching through your left hip flexor. Your shoulders are relaxed. You're smiling. Inhale, those arms reach up. Exhale, your hands framing this right foot. Tucking your left toes, lifting that left knee. Keep those thighs like they're zip tied together. So if you kicked back, bring the hips neutrally. If you'd like, inhale, extend and lift up towards the ceiling with that right hand. And then circle sweep that right hand down. Step forward with your left foot. Exhale at the top for forward fold. Inhale, you'll lift up halfway. Exhale, you'll fold back down. Inhale, we reverse and rise all the way up. Drag those arms out and up, palms can kiss, and exhale, the hands come into prayer and at our heart space. Draw a full belly breath in and pull those shoulders up. Exhale, relax and release the shoulders down. From the top of the mat, inhale, the arms fan up. Exhale, forward fold, plant those palms down to the mat. Take your left foot, step that left foot back. Now pivot that left foot at a 35 to 45 degree angle. Your stance can be wider, so the heels do not have to align on that tight rope. They can be a little bit wider, but when you're ready, your chest is like in a car lane. You'll inhale, rise up for that warrior one. From that warrior one, allow this back thigh, this left thigh to get strong. If your arms are tired, your hands can always come into prayer. Can always reside here, taking your time, breathing in through the nose, breathing out of the nose. Take one more inhale. And if your arms are extended, exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down. On that next breath in, the arms reach up. And as we exhale, we'll pop that back left heel off the earth, sending our left hand down, opening up as we spiral that back foot into warrior two stance. Soften your shoulders, square your heart towards this left edge of your mat. Align that right heel to the arch of your back foot. Relax but engaged. Drop that back hand down, flipping your palm on this right hand. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Relax the shoulder, feel the length, enjoy all this movement. One more inhale, and then exhale back into warrior two. From your warrior two, hands come to our hips. And as the hands come to our hips, we're spinning the right toes to point towards that left edge of our mat. A soft bend in the knees as we softly bend those knees. Exhale, start to bow your heart down. Once you're ready or the head releases, straighten those legs. Maybe bring the palms behind your back, palm stacked on top of palm. Remember which one you have on top. Let that breath go. If you prefer to interlace the hands, interlace those hands. Take another breath in here. We're releasing the hamstrings to give love to our low spine. One more inhale, letting that breath go. On your next breath in, bend your knees as you sink the hips low, rise it all the way up. Inhale, those arms reach up. I know you're facing towards the left edge, but now I want you to take your left toes, point them towards the front. As they point towards the front, you're in that triangle pose, facing the back end of your mat or the back of your room. From triangle pose, reach forward. When you reach forward, tick-tock those hands to a 6 and 12 and extend and lift. If you have any issues with your shoulder, bring your right hand to your hip instead. Try not to press into the knee. Instead, think of a soft bend. Engage the calf, engage the quad. Breath in here. Let that breath go. If your arm is up, one last breath in. One last breath out. On your next inhale, reverse the warrior. So bend that left knee, cartwheel or trace those palms back. And then exhale into that warrior two. From warrior two, hands to our hips. Turn the toes over towards the long edge of our mat. And then rotate and turn your right toes to point back towards their original point of orientation. Back into that warrior two. Inhale, we'll reverse it. And then exhale, you'll release the hands to frame this front right foot, taking your right foot, stepping it to the back end of the mat into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, you roll into a plank and release the knees down to the mat. Stack the shoulders in line with the wrist. If you prefer to stay in plank, you can. I'm gonna offer a cat-cow round, or you can lower the way down to your belly. So inhale, belly down, chest and chin lift up. Exhale, protract that back, chin to the chest. Inhale, cow pose lifting up. Exhale to cat it back, last one. Inhale the breath here. Lift the body up. Exhale to cat it back. On that next inhale, neutralize. As we neutralize, you may need to walk your hands forward. Now you're on plank or plank on your knees, elbows squeeze in. And as you exhale, send the elbow heads back, reach through your crown and lower your body all the way down. So we lower the body all the way down, palms come into the front, elbows anchor into our body, and inhale, we lift up for Sphinx Pose. As you lift up for Sphinx Pose, the gaze is neutral, the eyes may be closed, the hip points are anchored into the earth, the feet press into the mat. For more activation, lift the knees off the ground if possible. If you have a tight, tender back, take your legs out slightly wider. If your back is good, bring those thighs close towards one another. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, Bow the head down, release the forehead down to the mat, slide your palms back down by your breastbone, curl those elbows in, tucking the toes on our knees, and then exhale, send the hips back, child's pose. So you take that child's pose, draw that breath in, let that breath go. Inhaling through the nose, exhale to release. Another big breath in, letting that breath go. On your next breath in, rise back up into that tabletop. As you work your way into that tabletop position, tuck the toes under, lift your knees off the mat, tilt the hips back up, downward facing dog. In that downward facing dog, march the feet out, pausing here in stillness. Inhale, lifting the heels, bending those knees, walking the hands towards the feet. Drop the heels down. As the heels drop down, your feet are about 1 to 2 fists apart, pressing through the edges of your thighs. Drop your bum a little bit lower. On that inhale, your arms or your fingertips lift off the mat. Rise up into chair. As you bring the body into chair, relax the shoulders. If you'd like something to anchor you, you're welcome to take that towel in between your knees and squeeze that towel in. If your shoulders are tight, tender, bring your palms together. Let your hands rest at heart center. Shift or send the weight of the body towards the heels. Draw the sternum to sink down, pull the belly. Take another full breath in here. And as you exhale, release and fold forward. If that towel is in between your legs and it's bugging you, release it. We're gonna lower down to chair 2 more times. So when you're ready, bend those knees, let the bum rest down as low as you can. Arms can come into prayer automatically, or those arms can float up. Keep in mind, if there's anything that doesn't feel right for you, guide yourself as the teacher within. Big breath in. And I know your quads are burning because so are mine. Exhale, we fold forward. 1 more, shake it out if necessary. Bending the knees, dropping the hips down. Inhale, we lift it up. Hands prayer or arms up, always your choice. Big belly breath in. Relax the shoulders, maybe even the elbows go out. When you're ready, palms together. Exhale, we fold forward. If that towel is in between those knees, release that towel, release your blanket. You're at the back of your mat. And on that inhale, we'll rise all the way up. Circle sweep those arms or extend them up towards the sky, space permitting always. Exhale, head to the elbows, pull down. The chest is high. Inhale, our arms reach up. Exhale, we fold forward, releasing the fingertips down to the mat. Bend those knees, bear walk yourself into that downward facing dog. From that downward facing dog, inhale, extend and lift that left leg up. And then exhale, that left knee comes in towards your belly, looking forward, stepping that foot in between the thumbs. As that foot comes in between the thumbs, pause here in that runner's lunge, and then pivot your right foot for that warrior 1 stance, or blade of the foot pressing into the earth, big toe grounding down, big old arch on your foot, and then the hip square. We'll rise all the way up on our breath in. Give yourself permission to bring those palms into prayer if that feels better. Notice how you can relax and sink into this pose. Imagine you're bringing your heels towards one another and they don't have to be on that tightrope. 1 more inhale here. And then as you exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down. On our inhale, we'll extend and reach those arms up. Pop that back heel off the earth. And then exhale, sweeping your right hand back and around and down. Open your body up, pivoting your right foot into warrior 2 position, or 85 to 90 degree angle. If your shoulders are up high, release them. Extend the fingertips beyond. Imagine those family members or those to-do lists where they pull you here, pull you there, but you're still, you're cool, you're calm and collective, and you're resting. Take a breath in. Let that breath go. Align the knee, pressing through the edge of this left thigh. Drop that right hand down, flip that left palm. Inhale, you reverse it or high five that back wall. Take a full breath in here. And then exhale, work your way back into that warrior 2. From warrior 2, hands come to our hips. Spin those toes to the long edge of your mat. As you spin those toes to the long edge of your mat, draw that breath in. And when you're ready, bend those knees, exhale, fold it forward. As you fold forward, this time you have the option to bring the palms together behind the back, the option to release the palms down to the sides, the option to cross those arms in front of your body. This will help to release the shoulders. So if you'll take that left hand in front, right hand underneath, and then keep the bend of the knees until you're able to straighten. As you breathe in, dome your spine, the knees always can stay bent. Let that breath go. Breathe in here, puffing up. Letting that breath go. Releasing the erectors. Last one in this position. And then switch it out. Take that right hand to that left side first. The left hand is behind us. Neutralize those shoulders by pulling them away from your ears. Drop your crown down towards the ground. Press the fingertips into the mat. Dome that spine as you breathe in. As you exhale, bend the elbows, relax. 2 more. Breath in. We're also releasing the hamstrings, which are part of the problem when our low back hurts. Sometimes they're really tight. 1 more. Breath in. Letting that breath go. Slide those fingertips to the center of the mat. Inhale, you lift up halfway. So you lift up halfway, spin your heels in, drop your bum low, and then inhale, arms reach up, taking goddess pose. So goddess pose, your toes are pointing out like a pizza pie. Your hips are low or as low as your body permits. Tailbone is heavy, arms reach up, and then they come into that goalpost arm position. Draw a breath in here. Let that breath go. Draw the pelvic floor muscle up and in, or perineum muscle. And then inhale, star pose, arms reach up. Take a breath in and then pivot your right toes for triangle pose. Aligning the body. Activate the quad. Fingertips reach forward. The fingertips reach forward. The heart is still pointing towards the long edge of our mat. And then we'll tick-tock the hands to the 6 and to the 12. Draw the shoulder heads back. Rotate and open your left hip. As your left hip opens up, your right hip has to rotate. You might be up a little higher, and that's fine, or you may have this left hand resting at your hip. You may even have your right hand resting at the opposite hip or that right hip. So there's many variations. The goal is never to tap the ground and close the body. It's to lift the body up. 1 more breath in. Let that breath go. On your next inhale, rise up and come into that warrior 2. From our warrior 2, inhale, those arms reach up. We spin the toes to the long edge of the mat, and then exhale. Take warrior 2, pointing towards the left toes. Inhale, reverse that warrior. And then on our exhale, we cartwheel our hands to frame our front foot, popping that back heel off the mat. When you're ready, leading your left fingertips down, right fingertips down. Inhale, lift that left arm up. Spin that left hand down when you're ready. Stepping back with your left foot to meet your right foot. Exhale, inverted V or downward facing dog. Draw the breath in here. Let that breath go here. On an inhale, lift the heels, roll your body forward into that plank pose to the knees. And as you come onto the knees, elbows squeeze in. We're exhaling, lowering all the way down to our belly. As we release down to our belly, this time we're going to take our right arm out towards that right side of the room. Toes together, legs together, right cheek on the mat. As that right cheek comes down onto the mat, you're gazing to the left side. Now begin to slide that right arm out, so much so that maybe your head does lift up, but then you're stacking on the right hip. If this is too much, take that blanket, take your towel, and you can always rest the knee here. So this may be what it looks like for you. If you need a little more, then lift the leg up. This left leg lifts up, bend that left knee, step that left foot back. Let your head rest here, opening up through the pecs. Draw that breath in. Let it go. Take another breath in here. Let that breath go. Releasing the left hand back down to anchor the body. If you're opened up, knee either on or off that towel, stack them. Exhale, roll onto your belly. As we roll onto our belly, bringing those palms back down. Inhale, lift it up for Sphinx. Maybe you twirl your neck in one direction, in the opposite direction. And then you find stillness as you lift through the sternum, retracting those shoulders. Breath in, breath out. Now we're going to switch it out. So pull your elbow heads down, lower your frame. Taking that left arm out towards that left side, bringing that right hand by your breastbone, left ear down on the mat. Open the body as you inhale. Reach to the crown of the head, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Remember not to extend further than your body permits. If you need that towel, use that towel on this side. If you don't need the towel, lift that right leg, step that right foot behind you. If you'd like to bring the right hand to the hip or behind the back, that's 100% up to you. Variations for every individual in this particular moment. Breathe in through the nose, feel the chest, the pecs expand. At any time you need to release the leg, know that you can. Taking one more inhale here. One last exhale. If your arm is bound behind you, release it. Bring it back towards the mat. If the knee is on the blanket or on your towel, stack those legs. And then exhale. Roll onto your belly. As you roll into your belly, go ahead and bring your arms back down for Sphinx. Lift through the chest, twirling your head in one direction, twirling your head in the opposite direction, and then lifting for Sphinx. One more breath here in Sphinx pose, activating the quads. And then exhale, those elbows pull out. As the elbows pull out, the palms come to our breastbone. As the hands come to our breastbone, tucking those toes. Inhale, we lift and we're on our knees. Exhale, we take a few circles with our hips in one direction. It doesn't matter which one, as long as it's the one that you like. And then the opposite direction. Take another breath in. Pause as you exhale. Take a breath in, toes together, knees can go out wide. Exhale, sink into that child's pose. Relax and release. Full belly breath in here. Full belly breath out. Another breath in. And maybe this time an open mouth sigh to release. If your shoulders are tight and tender, know that you can also slide your arms to the sides, maybe grabbing the heels, or maybe just letting those palms point up towards the ceiling. Another breath here, dropping the hips down even further. When you're ready, palms come down. Inhale, we lift the body up. Walk those knees towards one another. Hands come forward. Feet slip out, and we're working our way onto our bottoms. So we work our way onto our bottoms. Support your frame by holding on to the back of your thighs and rolling down to the mat. As we roll down to the mat, let those knees come in towards our body. Few circles in one direction. And a few circles in the opposite direction, releasing that low spine, giving love to the hips. And then pausing. As we pause, lowering the sole of your left foot down. Inhale, that right leg goes up, and we'll cross that ankle on top of that left quad. Let gravity do some of the work, so that thigh is going to drop down. If it's comfortable and accessible to you, lift the sole of your left foot up, flexing all 10 toes. Your right hand goes through that number 4 triangle window, and then your left hand goes on the outside. Fingers can interlace around the hamstring, or if you prefer, interlacing below your kneecap on that shin bone. If your head is lifted, if you're finding it challenging here, you're welcome to roll up your towel to support the cervical spine or the neck. And this may be more comfortable for you. Some days one side's tighter than the other, so just honor the place you're in this moment. The present is our gift. Couple more inhales here. If you find that you're here and then you can release the towel or your blanket, know that you can. One last inhale. And we'll let that breath go. Releasing that bind, slowly begin to lower the sole of your left foot down. Extend and reach that right foot up. As that right leg extends up, take your hands, wrap them around your hamstring. As you wrap them around the hamstring, draw the shoulder blades away from the ears. And on that inhale, extending that left leg towards the top of the mat. If you feel like you'd like to lift the heel, inhale, begin to lift and float that left heel off the mat. It's a little more strength, so you're engaging the core. You're sending energy out of both your right and left heel. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. If the muscles are shaky, either lower down or embrace it for 2 more inhales. If you can grab onto your toes, use your peace fingers to grab those toes. Last inhale here. And then exhale, lower that left heel down, gently guide that right knee in. As we guide that right knee in, take a little half happy baby. So grabbing the outside blade or the pinky toe blade, half happy baby. You're welcome to massage the back of your hamstring or the back of this thigh with your left hand. Can also guide the thigh in for support so that you don't feel like you're hyperextending the hip. If this is too much, bend that left knee. Let the sole of the foot rest down on the mat. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. When you're ready to release, let go. Extend and release that right leg nice and long. If your left knee is bent, extend and release that left leg nice and long. Take that big good morning stretch. Arch the spine, yawn if it's in you, and then exhale, release the spine down. Slide those hands down to your body. Bending your right leg, inhale, that left leg goes up and we'll cross the ankle over towards this right side. Once more, let the gravitational pull assist you, and then lifting the sole of your right foot up. Take your time as you thread that needle. Invite that comfort into your body. Support the spine if necessary. Grip where it feels best. If this side is extremely tight, maybe you leave the sole of the foot down and just let the weight adjust for your needs today. Flexing those toes. Drawing that breath in. Another big giant breath in here. Only when you're ready, you'll go ahead and release the spine. As you release the bind, you're dropping the sole of your right foot down. You're inhaling, extending and lifting that left leg up, bending that left knee in towards your body. Taking grip of the leg, nice and long. Remember, the hand can interlace around the hamstring, or you can grab the toes, the ankle, whatever feels right. Tailbone is heavy. Now you'll go ahead and float this right leg long. Either exhale, the heel goes down, or inhale, that heel lifts up. Soft bend. Strings are pulling from the heels. Tailbone is dropping down. You're not forcing anything. You're just finding connection. Three more inhales where we're at. Lowering the heel anytime you need to. Last belly breath in, and as you exhale, releasing that right heel down, bending that right knee if necessary. Half happy baby as you gently bring this left knee towards your left armpit. Remember, you can massage the hamstring or even that glute connection if you'd like. Or you can take this right hand, hold on to the outside edge of your thigh on this left side so that you can keep the integrity or the position of the hip if your hip feels unstable. Knee on the right leg can stay bent, or inhale, you can extend it long. Floating the heel or releasing the heel, always your choice. Take that breath in fully. Return to the renewal of mind, body, spirit, that nourishment and connection. Two more inhales here. One more big belly breath in. And then begin to release this half happy baby. Bringing that right knee in to meet that left knee. Few circles in each direction. Then as you return to center, both legs can extend up towards the sky. You're here for 3 inhales, 3 exhales. Another option while we're here is if you'd like to take a little lift, bring the soles of the feet down. Roll your blanket, lift the hips, slide that blanket underneath for support. Support of the sacrum. If that feels comfortable, anchor those palms down. Start to pull one knee in towards your body, finding stability. The opposite knee in. So you're like a small tuck. And then if you want to lift those legs up, lift the legs up. If you prefer to use your couch, you can bend your knees on your couch. So the knees might be at this 90-degree angle with or without the support of the blanket or bolster. Taking a final breath in. Slowly begin to bend those knees in towards your heart. Begin to release the soles of the feet down. If that blanket is underneath you, stay here. If that blanket is not, take a breath in and lift those hips up for a small bridge. Or if you want a little bridge for that counter pose, take that bridge. If not, softer portion is to stay down. One more inhale here. And we'll exhale that breath out. And lower the hips down if you're in bridge. If you're on that supported bridge, lift the hips up, slide your blanket or bolster out, lower the hips down, knees kiss as your feet walk out, windshield wiper those legs right side to left side. Returning back to center, heel toe your feet back towards one another. Lift the soles of the feet off the mat, come into a 90-degree angle, cactus or T those arms, draw that breath in. And as you exhale, release your knees to that right side of the room. If your shoulder feels uncomfortable, extend and lift that left arm up. Find comfort and then inhale, open the body up. Your gaze should be where it feels best on your neck. Another inhale here. Letting that breath go. With or without those eyes closed, inhale, look up towards the ceiling. Bring those knees with you. Exhale, take it to the opposite side. Knees release to the left. Gaze is either ceiling or to the right. Adjust the shoulder if you need to. So you're in fetal position and then your inhale, open it up. Soften the eyeballs within the eyelids. Surrender yourself for support. One more breath here. Letting that breath go. Shoulder melts onto the mat or into the space. Inhale, we return our gaze back towards the ceiling, bringing our knees back in towards midline. Allow yourself to wrap your arms around the shin bones or rest those hands on the kneecaps. Give yourself a big squeeze, whether you lift your head up or not, 100% up to you. Inhale, you'll let go. Exhale, you'll find your final resting spot of Shavasana. You have all those items that are surrounding you. So if your preference is to come into Shavasana in that butterfly pose, the way we began, supine, then you're welcome to come into that, supported or unsupported. You're also welcome to place one of your blankets or both of your towels and rest those knees down to the mat. Let's all take a collective breath in together. And we'll open mouth sigh, letting it go. Take these next few moments, these breaths of nourishing your mind, your body, and your spirit. Bringing awareness to your space, to your physical presence. Begin by taking that full breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, sigh it out. Invite gentle movement back into the body as you wiggle your fingers, your toes, wrists, and ankles. Awakening the neck and the spine as we move our head from the right side of the room to the left side of the room. And then inhale, sweep those arms over your head if it's comfortable. And as you exhale, begin to bend those knees. If you had that blanket rolled underneath, you can place the balls of the feet, the soles of the feet down to the mat. Bringing your left hand towards your belly. Inhale, and then exhale. Roll over into fetal position, resting on this right side. Breathe in through the nose here. Let that breath go. Pressing through the fingertips with our eyes closed if you'd like. Begin to lift yourself into a comfortable seated position, facing anywhere you'd like. Bringing those palms into prayer, and at our heart space, we'll relax the shoulders away from our ears. We'll smile with glee, with contentment. Inhale. And then exhale, bowing down as we release our breath. Thank you for sharing your day, your love, light, and energy with me today and with each other. It's truly been an honor. The divine in me salutes, honors, and recognizes the divine in each of you. From my heart to yours, namaste.